Over the past few weeks, I've been noticing a completely new method that's absolutely blowing up small content creators. It's actually quite crazy because over the past few weeks, I've been noticing this happen over and over and over again. So let me explain exactly what this new content strategy is and how to implement it in your content. And on top of that, I'm going to explain to you how to do it step by step. So here's the issue when you're a small content creator. When you first start to create content, the trouble you're having is that people don't judge you with the quality of your content. Instead, they're judging your content based on the views or the subscribers that you might have. And when you first start off, well, you have 0 views and 0 subscribers. In fact, this channel right here is a small channel. And so I happen to have the same problem as you now have. So how do you actually change this? How do you actually change people's views on your content even though you might have a small channel? Well, you have to lean into having a small YouTube channel and being a small or new content creator. So how do you do this? Well, you're going to share your journey. I do this all the time on my channel. Not only that, but you're also going to give as much value as possible. No matter where you start, you are ahead of somebody else, and you have to lean into that, not pretending that you're somebody that's super famous or anything along those lines. And on top of that, you want to share your story, your struggles, your insecurities. And the past two videos that I've been doing that actually came out as a 1 out of 10. So if you do create content on YouTube and you go into your YouTube studio, the last video is based on 1 to 10. So let's say that your new video is a 10 out of 10. That means that's the worst performing videos that you've had in 10 videos. And if it's a 1 out of 10, that means it's the best video that you've been doing in the past 10 videos. So if it's a 10 out of 10, that usually means you're going to have a very bad day. At least that's the case for me. But if it's a 1 out of 10, you're doing something right. So my past 2 videos, I've been sharing, some personal things that have been going on. And that's your actual story, your own story. And my last 2 videos, I've been doing that. And both of them were 1 out of 10. So that means that last week's videos was very good. It's a compared to my last 10 videos, it was performing really well. And so I did that a second time, and that one performed even better than the one before. So that means that I was doing something right. And actually, I've been noticing this a lot, where people share their insecurities, their journeys, or something that's personal, and that's making their channel blow up, because anybody can search on ChatGPT what to do. That's very simple. You go on ChatGPT, you ask it a question, and it will answer you probably better than any YouTube video out there. But what hooks people in and what makes YouTube successful for some channel, at least for some information channels, is the personality behind it. That's where people build a personal brand, and in personal brand, that means personal. So you share your stories, your insecurities, and so on. And if you talk to your camera like you would talking to a friend, that usually means that you're going to do pretty well when you're making a video. And so that's exactly what I've been trying to do. And as the last 2 videos have been telling me, or YouTube Studio have been telling me, it's actually working quite well. So share your stories, share your insecurities, your struggles, everything. And that is probably going to make your videos a lot better to some people, because it starts to appeal to some people. Another way to look at this, and on top of sharing your own insecurities and stuff, is to, as I said, lean into the fact that you're a small channel. So let's say that you wanted to have a business channel. You're starting a business, some sort of business. Let's say you're starting a bakery. So you're starting a bakery and you want to share it on Journey. So instead of saying how I made $10,000 when I was opening my bakery. Instead, here's what happens when you first open your first bakery, and this is the sales I've made, or something along those lines. Or if you're somebody that's building a fitness YouTube channel, you could say how I build muscle or how I lose weight. You're going to say something like my first 30 days of trying to lose weight, or my first 30 days of trying to build muscle. That is in fact going to build your YouTube channel way better, because you're not trying to pretend to be somebody that you're not, but also you're giving the value that you need, and you're being personal. So it kind of gets everything together, and that's actually usually what works when you're building a YouTube channel. Now, how do you actually find some ideas? This is a tricky one. In fact, I struggle with this myself. So I go on YouTube and I try to find videos that are doing well, especially for smaller YouTube creators. Because if you have a video that gets 200,000 views and the person has 1 million subscribers, it's probably not going, like, it's not a very good video in that sense. But if another video gets 200,000 views as well, but that person has, let's say, 2,000 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers, that means it's probably a lot better than all of their other videos. So if you kind of replicate that sort of title that's working, then you're going to have a higher chance of breaking the ceiling of what you usually get. So if you try to just guess, which is something that I kind of struggled with, is trying to come up with a good title idea, and it usually doesn't work. Instead, if you do that, and especially if it's something that's out of your niche but you can implement yourself. So let's say that you're making a fitness YouTube channel and you find a video that's called something like the 10 best ways to make money online. This is an example, and this is the good example. Like, it has the creator has 2,000 subscribers and it's getting 200 or 300,000 views on the video. That means it's a good video, but it's not in your niche because it's telling you the best ways to make money, but you're actually a fitness influencer, or you're trying to build a YouTube channel around fitness. So instead, what you can do is you can replicate that title but put your own twist on it. So you're going to say something like the 10 best ways to build muscle, something along those lines. So you're taking the kind of general or the title format that actually works and implement it to your own YouTube channel and your own niche. So that's kind of getting the good ideas and making it your own. Now, if you want to be smart about this, then you can go to ChatGPT and tell them like so you're going to copy the transcript. You don't even have to look at the video or watch the video. In fact, you probably shouldn't watch the video, because then the first part that I talked about in this video, where I say that you should be personal and talk like a friend, or like you're talking to a friend, you're probably not going to do this, because you're going to copy that person, even though you're probably not noticing it, but you're probably going to be something along, like, kind of copy them. So you don't want to do that. Instead, what you can do is you're going to copy the transcript. So if you go to the bottom of a video and you open up the box that's like the description, there's a button that says show transcript. So you'll copy the whole transcript, put it in ChatGPT and ask it, what are the main points of this YouTube video? And then it's going to tell you very, very well what the main points are. And then you're going to copy a bunch of comments, probably not all of them because you have a certain limit. But you're going to copy a whole bunch of comments and copy them and tell ChatGPT, what do people like about this video? What do they not like? And what are some questions that they're asking? If you type in those questions, you're probably going to have a realistic idea of what people want to see, even though it might not be in your niche. And if you do that and like everything that's and be personal and show your insecurities and stuff, you're probably going to have a YouTube video that's going to do very well. Now, let's say that you have you find a video that's doing very well, even, but it's a good big creator. Like this person has a million subscribers and their video gets 50 million views. So it's like a huge video. You probably shouldn't copy them because they already have a base. Even though that video is doing great for them, it might not be good for you. Now, it's a lot better than guessing, but if you can copy a smaller creator instead of a bigger creator, it's probably going to make a lot more sense than if you were just like copying a big one, which probably isn't going to work for you because they already have a very big base. They're probably getting at least 50,000 views on a bad video, and so those people basically make up the whole viewership and pushing it out to a lot more people. So make sure that you copy small creators that are getting a lot of views on a specific video. Now, a lot of people are going to have a struggle with this, which is when you watch videos that are doing very well, especially bigger creators, you're going to have this very, very good video quality. You're going to have a great sound, which probably this isn't going too well, but I'm getting a new mic very soon, so stick around for that. So you're going to have very good sound, very good editing, very good everything on their video. It's going to be very polished, and in fact, even though that's kind of dying off, the perfect videos, you're still going to have some people that have a very good idea of how to make videos look very good. You want to stay away from that because you're going to improve, and the biggest way to improve on camera is doing a lot of content. So I've been posting 3 times a week for months, and now I only post once a week, which actually isn't working out too bad, but that's because I have been practicing being on camera. So if you just push out content as much as you can, the bad content, it doesn't matter, just content in general, you're going to improve with that. So instead of trying to be perfect, be consistent. That's basically the whole gist of what I'm saying, and you're going to start to be able to talk to the camera a lot better, to share what you want to share properly in front of the camera. And I'm not the best at this yet, or yeah, I'm going to say yet. I'm not the best at this, but if you try to speak like you were talking to a friend, at first it's probably not going to be super natural, but after a while it probably will. So make sure that you just continually film yourself and you'll be able to improve that way. And in terms of editing, you don't have to be editing at all. Like I know that some people are telling me like you should do this and that in the comments, and thank you for your input. If you have any comments or suggestions, let me know. I really appreciate every single comment. But also, I don't really watch videos where they're hugely edited, and I've said this in a bunch of videos before, but the videos that I watch are mostly not even edited. Some are, but a lot of the times it's just people that are talking to a camera just like I'm doing right now, and they don't have anything like popping off anywhere. They don't have anything that's like zooming in and zooming out, sound effects and so on. And I've had a comment recently that told me that I should probably have some things or that come up on the screen, and just talking is boring, but really that's the videos I watch and that's what I want my content to look like. I'm not the best at talking to a camera, but I'm getting there, I'm improving, and I'm a lot better than what I used to be when I first started this channel. So hopefully the people that are interested in that kind of content resonate and subscribe to this channel basically, and watch my content. That's super important. So if you implement all of these things, your content is probably going to improve significantly, especially if you're somebody that's like an information type of channel. If you're an entertainment channel, some things apply, probably not everything, because sharing your insecurities when you're trying to entertain people might work, might not. To be honest, I don't really know. I don't really watch entertainment channels, or very few of them. So, you know, keep that in mind. But really, this channel is mostly geared towards people that are trying to help people in some sort of way on YouTube, so, or thinking of helping them on this journey. So if you can improve somebody's lives and you want to do this on YouTube, then I think these are really good tips that I've been really seeing popping off lately. And I think you should probably at least give it a try and see if it works or resonates towards your audience. And if you do want to improve the way you talk to a camera, then I have this video right here that you should probably watch, because it gives you some great tips that I've been using and that have been popping off my videos recently. I don't get a million views, but if it's a 1 out of 10, after another 1 out of 10, that probably means that there's something to look at this point. So with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.